Hi guys, Kirk here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today what we're going to do is we're going to apply bonding agent to this house here. And generally what I'll do is, my choice of bonding agent is Weld-Crete. What I generally do for an application of bonding agent prior to a color coat finish is I'll dilute it. Now I'll take a full 5 gallons, give 2.5 gallons on this one, then I usually just add some water to it. Now, then I make 5 gallons right here. So this product has a lot of different reasons, but we won't go into that. You can put concrete on concrete, but for purposes of what we're doing today, we're applying a bonding agent directly to the surface of the house. I'm explaining this because the fella here had about 10 guys who bid the house to do color finishes on it. And he said, Kirk, how come I got so many different explanations of how, why, and things of that nature? And I said, well, how many did you get? And he says, well, I narrowed it down to you and another fellow, and the other fellow was going to apply a skim coat. And I said, that's not necessary. Your house is in fine condition. You don't need a skim coat. I said, the only house I've seen so far is one that they did a ferrule system to. They took pressure hose and shot glass and fibers on it and just took all the lead paint off, and it just cracked the house like an egg. That's the only time I refer to skim coat. I said, on the skim coat, this other fellow said he was going to do. Why? And he says, well, he says he's replaced a lot of color coats that failed. Well, we're going to go over that. If you don't put the bonding agent directly on the house, it will fail. Some of the bonding agent says you can put it in the mix. You cannot. It will dilute it. Unless you put this on the house, it will come off eventually. I guarantee my color coats for life. So after 30 years, I haven't had to replace any of them because they don't come off. I have had to come back and do touch-up. Lawn mowers, barbecues hit them, tree branches, things like that, but they don't come off if you do it right. Anyhow, we're covering up all the windows. I got my daughter here. She's great at covering windows. Jay's helping me do the windows. And we're gonna cover all the windows first, then we're gonna apply this bonding agent. I'll show you some other tips when we get to the other side.
Why don't you tell them why you have to dilute it?
Oh, well, we dilute the bonding agent because if we put it on full strength, like concrete to concrete, what'll happen is the color coat will spider check. It'll crack every which way because the bonding agent is too strong for just a color coat over a painted surface. I've seen it done many times, and that's why we prefer to do our own bonding agent. I did have a fellow did his own bonding agent. It was straight blue, and I told him before we even started, I said, it's going to crack like an egg. You should not have done that. You should have let me do it, but didn't listen to old Kirk. Anyhow, good question. We're going to get started on the other side. We've got a lot of windows, and once we get started, I'll show you guys how we just apply this stuff and a few other tips. Okay guys, while we're on the topic of the bonding agent for the application of a stucco color coat, to show you what we generally do. Okay, I'll put the bottoms on real thick. I'll brush the bottoms. I don't even think about trying to roll the bottoms. And I actually put it on very thick here. Now the fellow who owns the house here, he's a pretty on the ball guy. He pressure washed this house like 3 times. Obviously he wanted to make certain. So I told him, pressure wash below the grade, meaning go below the dirt level. That way, if you're going to do something later on in the years, it won't show. So another tip too, what I generally do is I'll keep a trowel in my back pocket, and I'll show you why. If say for example, it doesn't matter what bonding agent you use. I just happen to like Weld-Crete, but whatever bonding agent you use, it has water in it. So when you're applying this on here, the water will sometimes, even if a guy did a really super nice job like this guy did pressure washing, he was thorough. He did a really good job. But sometimes what will happen is after this sets for about a half hour, this might loosen up. If you have a trowel in your back pocket, when you're done, hit it, knock it off, and put another bonding agent right where that, because the water in this will peel up the stucco or the paint sometimes in 1,000 different kinds of paints. Over here you can see this wall is done. You can barely see the blue as it's pretty light, but you can see the drip marks. Now if I'm using the clear or the white bonding agents, it's nightmarish. I can't even see it. You have to look sideways and you can see a sheen. So I always prefer a tinted bonding agent. Why it's that color, I don't know, but we've been using it for years and it works. If you apply the bonding agent direct to the house like this, it never fails. Never. I've never seen a bonding agent fail. I'm just addressing this because of the concerns of the homeowner who actually said, well, this guy has redone a whole bunch that they put the bonding agent. I have redone a whole bunch of other folks' work too that in 30 years I think I've redone 3 of them where we'll take a trowel and it'll just come right off because they didn't put the bonding agent on the house. Put it on the house, there's no worries. Anyhow, my name's Kirk. Jason and I, my daughter, we're covering and gluing today, simple work. And as usual guys, we'll see you guys on the next one.